With us now is Amanda Ramirez. She's one of our associate producers, and she brought a very special guest. Welcome to the show, Amanda.
Thank you.
And who do we have with us?
Well, I have here a director and choreographer, and one of my former dance instructors, Lloyd Culbreath.
Hello, Lloyd.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for having me.
So excited to have you here. So a lot of your life, you grew up here on Long Island where we're taping the show and started out in Hempstead.
Yes, I did. I began dancing at 5 years old, and initially because of health issues. I had asthma as a child, and my doctor suggested that perhaps some kind of exercise might be a good thing instead of the family moving to Arizona or someplace in the desert, and I began dancing.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So now, did you know that, Amanda? Because I know you know a lot about
No,
him.
I knew that you started very young, because when I started, my mother remembers your tap solo as the vampire. So you were a little older when I was a baby, but I didn't know that that was the reason. I didn't know that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, health issues. And then I just began to like it, and I just did it as a hobby.
And then a hobby grew into profession. So Amanda, just tell our audience just a little bit about all the gloriousness of Lloyd.
I don't think I have enough fingers. Well,
Okay.
It was Sophisticated Ladies, dancing, Honky Tonk Nights, with Chita Rivera, multiple shows with Chita Rivera, Tap Dance Kid, which I got to see. I was lucky to see that. Trying to think what else. I mean, and now most recently, in terms of people that would know, would be the FX miniseries, Verdon Fosse.
Which was fabulous.
Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed that.
Yeah, so tell us about that experience.
It's great. I began working with the Verdon Fosse legacy about 9 years ago. Actually, when we began, there was no Verdon Fosse legacy. We started a series of master classes. One class led to 2, led to 4, led to 5. Then she established an estate. And a bit down the road, they decided to do a story, a TV thing about Gwen and Bob. And we were asked to work on it, and I did that, and that was fabulous. Great experience, great experience.
What was your connection, and why did they personally invite you to do that?
Well, we were working with the Verdon Fosse legacy and reconstructing and sort of protecting the work and putting the work back out there. And they wanted authenticity in the dancing, so they reached out to the estate, and next thing I knew, there was Sam Rockwell and Michelle Williams. Yeah.
I was sharing with you in the backstage that, like, I always do jazz hands because, like, I grew up kind of like voted most optimistic, you know, I was always a cheerleader, right? And so when I'm happy and I'm joyous, and I never took formal training, right? But I was always like, who doesn't know, you know?
True.
What is it about that style, that Fosse style that is so iconic?
It's sexy.
Okay.
And there's an inner life. It's there. You have to be a really strong actor to do the work as well. So that's definitely from a point of view. And I think when you see his work, it's very cinematic. So
Yes.
he constructs the pieces so he informs the audience where to look as if it were cameras like here. So you always know exactly what you're looking at. There could be 6 things going on stage, but one person is smoking a cigarette and snapping a finger. And so it's constructed in such a beautiful way. And as I said, there's an inner life because of the acting. So I think that would sort of be the answer.
And speaking from personal experience, because you taught us a few of those, as small as the movements are, you have to hit those marks. In order to, you can't necessarily flub through it, you can't necessarily forget it. There is a specific reason why you're hitting those marks, and you used to drill it in our heads like I was off, this person's off, and it was frustrating, but when you saw it, like when you saw the playback, whenever you would video it, it looked amazing.
Because the work is so small and so concise, I like to describe it like those little tabs that you use to wash clothes now,
Yes.
the tab
Yes,
things.
yes.
It's as if you're taking all of this stuff
Right.
and you're concentrating
Yeah.
it down to this little nucleus. And so,
Focus.
yes, and the energy is still large, but it's contained and focused.
Nice.
I think that's the
a
way to sort of
beautiful,
describe
absolutely beautiful description. Speaking of contained and focused, the Rockettes, you're also working with them.
Last year,
Okay.
right before the lockdown, we were able to squeeze that in. They reached out to the estate and they wanted to do a internet video. They were doing a series of internet videos in different styles to show that their Rockettes actually do other things. And
Okay.
so we went in and sort of constructed something in the style of Bob, and it went viral. As a matter of fact, I think it's had more hits than anything the Rockettes have put online.
Oh.
And as a matter of fact, I'm getting ready to go into the studio with 18 of the girls to film a piece of my own.
Nice.
Show a little
Lovely.
in Rockette language, and we'll see what happens with that.
Wonderful. When you're not dancing, is there a way that you take care of your instrument? Like, do you do push-ups, and do you know, is there like certain things you need to do to build up the muscles, or does the dance do all that for you?
No, certainly, I'm certainly not in optimum shape right now, but certainly you cross-train. I like to go to the gym, cardio, a little light lifting. I don't lift as much as I used to. I'm getting to be an older guy. But certainly you do other things to inform. Pilates is great. I'm really an advocate of that. And so you do other things to work muscles in a different way, in addition to continuing your dance training and warming up and maintaining. And you know, it's Pilates, some people do aerobics. I just think doing different things kind of keeps you in the best shape.
I love that.
Yeah.
And you know, Amanda often, you know, around the green room and stuff like that, I often see her like dancing and, you know, what were you saying? There's like a special showbiz pose.
Yeah, it's a showgirl
Oh, a showgirl
pose.
How do you do the showgirl
We
pose,
have
guys?
to show her to do the showgirl pose.
Show me. What is the show?
Let's get
here.
together.
Okay, here we go.
If I were one of the Rockettes, you
Right.
sort of toe to toe, you cross the knee, you lift out of your hips, hands, 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 something, you know.
Okay, let me try. Have a
Showgirls.
seat. Let me try.
Yeah, please.
Have a seat. Okay, here we go.
Come
so
on.
I might not have the right shoes on, but okay, so I'm going to put this toe here. I'm going to put this toe here.
Right.
I've never danced before, like
Very
not
nice.
professionally. Really? Okay, now what do I do?
Your hands here, or
hands
hands
here.
yes.
Okay.
And lift up. There you go. Click.
Showgirl.
Ready, ready.
Well, it's so much fun, and for all the dancers out there, this is my first time, so if I can do it, you can do it. And who knows, if you have asthma, maybe it will help your health too. Stay tuned, we've been living it up right here with Amanda and Lloyd.